Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. So today the video is going to be the continuation of what we discussed last Friday at the start of the IPL. In that, Vinod sir mentioned that owning a IPL team is not profitable, and the business which supports the IPL teams make more profits than IPL team. So I would like to quote here what happened in the America during 1840s. It's called the gold rush. So it happened in California where gold was discovered, and people came to know about that, and lots of people went in search of gold, and few are able to make profits. We might think that people who got the gold make profits, but it was the opposite. So people who supplied business, the people used to come in ships and horse carts. Those who supplied the business and supported them for leather jackets, shoes, and things for ships and horse carts were making more profits than people who actually found the gold and selling. So, and in present scenario, is it true that automobile companies make less profit than companies which are supplying auto parts to the company? So what I'm asking is it better to run a B2B business than B2C business? What's your view on this?
Well, when you talk about the Klondike and the gold rush at the time, when the gold was first discovered, everyone went rushing there to look for gold. So people saw an opportunity where, as human beings go to a certain area, human beings require few things. They require food, they require shelter, and they require entertainment. So when human beings go to a vast wilderness area, there's an opportunity to provide them these three. So you would see small towns propping up all over that area, small towns which would have a bar, which will have entertainment, meaning ladies would be there offering their services, and there'll be general stores which are offering all the goods which are required to do your mining. And these are the guys who made the most money. The women in those towns made the most money because they'll be paid by gold. These miners would go and come back with some gold dust and gold nuggets in their hand, and these women would be offering their services, and they would be the ones who made the most money. So there's lots of stories about this, and you can definitely read. And one of the surviving companies from this gold era is, of course, the famous Levi's. Levi's was started by two brothers during the gold rush. They were providing good denim trousers.
So that was the beginning of invention of jeans.
Correct. Yeah, because these guys needed to wear sturdy pants, an outfit that would take the beating of being rummaging through mud, rummaging through rivers, and doing gold panning. So jeans was born, and Levi's jeans became very famous because they were very strong and they lasted a long time. So that is the evolution of Levi's company, which we are seeing today. Same way, this is true for any industry. You can see this over and over again throughout history, where a company sets up a B2C, an opportunity is created to supply the B2B in that. There in the B2C scenario was the people looking for gold, that was the B2C. And the B2B was those miners were the business operators because they were trying to find the gold, and people are supplying to them. And the reason why it makes sense is the B2C has to worry about making the money. B2B does not worry about making money. B2B has to make sure whatever requirements the B2C has, that is fed. So whatever the miners are requiring, you make sure those are met. Right? Because a miner has to need those things, those tools. Like a car company, like you rightly said, makes a car and it's his headache to sell the car. But if you are making the steering wheel, you are making components for the car, he has to buy it from you because he's the one who's assembling the car. But like when the gold rush died, right, those towns disappeared. People who invested in those towns, let's say buying real estate, right, who put up shops, put up capital and built up stores, those guys would have lost money. People who did not lose money are people who are operating on a rental basis, who are operating on a seasonal basis, like those women, like people working as a bartender, people who are offering services, during the season. Those guys would have seen the season dying down or another area picking up business, they would have moved off easily. So that also you have to keep in mind when you try to do B2B. So when you're doing B2B, what is your capital expense into this B2B? And if, let's say, car industry is going through a downturn, right? They're not selling enough cars, and you decide to make tires. We spoke about tires in another video, right? And the cars are not being manufactured at that capacity, and they don't need the tires. What are you going to do? That industry goes to a downward turn. you will be forced into going to a downward turn. This is very famously happening during initial printing. Printing was very big in India, right? That's a B2B business. You print textbooks for someone, you print calendars, you print books, whatever, for offices, paper, stationery. So people bought those offset machines, very expensive, imported into India, paying lots of duty. But people who timed it wrong and who bought it at the time when paper industry was dying, and they did not see that, bought all these heavy machineries, put it up.
Oh. So that is a disadvantage of B2B business.
So you have to be careful.
So we know that storm is coming, but due to
that takes a skill.
Okay.
Not everybody can see a storm coming. Sometimes the cyclone look like it's coming, and then it takes over down to Nagapattinam or goes up to Vijayawada, and that's the end of it. You're saying storm, like who you're talking about, Cupid, for example, right? This is my opinion. What with Alvin, me discussing with Anand, this was our opinion. Maybe we were wrong and it's completely blown over, and people goes to 10,000. People will be laughing at us, but that's okay.
We said that storm is coming, but it's up to you.
Yeah, so you want to take a risk.
Okay.
So always you have to remember in businesses, any business has a risk in it of failing. And if that business fails, can you stomach the loss? Can you recover from that loss? Because you have to spend money to set up that business. So can you take that loss and move on to the next project? If you don't have the stomach for that loss will destroy you. Don't do the business. It's not worth it.
Okay.
Because everything has a chance of failure in it. Even the best businesses. There is no business which is 100% guarantee.
Okay.
Even if you're making generic drugs, let's say you're making a type of paracetamol and you're selling a type of paracetamol, there's no guarantee because the market is so generic and it's so widely available. You get priced out of it. And like any industry, it runs by influence, right? So do you have that influence to sell it? You don't know. You might have a great idea, but do you have access to the market? So these are things you have to remember, especially when you do B2B. You might be a great guy making great auto component, but do you have access to that company to sell it?
That's
the purchase manager.
That's easy to find, but difficult to sell.
Correct. So there are two things that need to meet. It's just not a question of, that you have a great idea or you have the money to do it. You have to make sure that all facets of that business come together and it works for you. Even with everything coming together like that, risk is there. Like the 2007, 2008 financial crisis happened. Lots of businesses were about to kick off, suddenly froze. Orders were cancelled, companies disappeared. So you do not know. You might have everything going for you, but suddenly, macroeconomic headwind blows the other way and things can go very wrong. So do you have the capacity to bear that loss? Do you have the capacity to wait out the storm? Is something that you have to keep in mind. This is also true as an investor. Like I was saying, yesterday we were talking about IDFC. Someone has bought it at 130 rupees. Now it's at 111 and he feels a loss. He feels the pain. I understand that. But if your mindset was just that small amount of money,
19, 18
rupees, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. But if you're looking at your mindset is, I don't care because I'm getting IDFC first and Vaidyanathan is there running it. In the long term, this 78 rupees of IDFC first is going to go to 200 rupees or 300 rupees. I'm ready to wait for it. Then you're going to be a winner. So your motivation on all this matters. It's just not, I just want to make money. Everybody wants to make money. But making money involves a risk. Like everyone wants to get a motorcycle and drive. But driving a motorcycle, that is a risk. You don't think about it till you have an accident. All of you don't wear a helmet. Right? You think you're really cool. We are letting your hair dry out like, yes, it does. Okay? But the problem is, when accident happens, it can be fatal. Things can go wrong very fast. At that time, you cannot go, oh no, I should listen to my friend and worn that helmet. It's too late. So these things you should keep in mind when you want to do B2B. All businesses are great as long as you can stomach the loss. If the loss happens, you're able to stomach it. You're able to okay, doesn't matter. I lost this few lakhs, doesn't matter. I'll move on to my next project. I'll work on that. You should be able to do that. Then it all makes sense.
And one more thing is, we find a lot of B2C companies listed in the stock market. We know that it is guaranteed that the B2B will deliver the not big profits, but it will give the sustained profit for a period of time. So when B2B is successful, why aren't many companies listed on stock market?
People only list stock market not because they have to, because they need to. Let's say I'm doing a great business, private business, right? Like Tata Sons has many private businesses. None of them are listed. The only reason you list a company is for two reasons. You need to raise money, or you want to see what the company is worth.
Okay.
If I don't need to raise money, why would I want to go share my profit with everybody?
It's not like it has to be listed, so it's up to the promoter whether to list or not. Okay.
I can have a 10,000 crore company privately
like
held.
Zoho, it's a big example.
Yeah, privately held. There's no law saying that it has to be listed.
Okay.
Correct. Investors may wish that I listed. Like we all wish Tatas would list everything. Okay, Tata and Sons too. We saw the way the prices of Tata Chemicals and all went up through the roof and then it corrected again. We saw that because simple reason investors would love it.
When I first entered the market, I checked for Zoho prices and all, and I came to know that Zoho is not listed in the stock market.
There you go. And lots of us would also like to think that a certain company is listed, a certain brand. Then we find out that brand is not listed. That brand is owned by another company. That is owned by another company. That company will be listed.
Okay.
So let's say if Zoho, for instance, someone would have invested, a company could have invested in Zoho, and that company might be listed. So by buying that company, you're buying
Zoho. Yeah.
But as a new investor, you don't think of that. Right.
We want direct name Zoho.
Yeah, because you want it that easy. Just enter name, okay, price correct, okay, buy it.
And Paytm also, it's not listed as Paytm. 197 communications.
Yeah. So this is very true. Something might be branded as something, but actually the way it's sold in the stock market might be completely different. So that amount of research you should be willing to do, and hard work you should do. So then you get the right company at the right price. Okay. But remember, always to buy value, not to buy brands. Don't buy brand. You're not a brand loyalty here. You're not buying t-shirt. Right? You're making an investment.
When we are buying a product, we should look for that. Correct. But when we are investing in stock market, we should
look for value. You should be buying value.
Okay.
Anyway, I think you can do the outro.
So thanks for watching the video. So if you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe for this channel. If you have any queries, so please mention in the comments. We'll discuss in the upcoming videos. So once again, thank you for watching the video. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.